Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Classic Mini Maintenance and Repairs. Now this is part 2 of installing the auxiliary gauges, the triple gauge Sportspack, whatever you want to call them. And this is the oil pressure gauge. Now it's really simple to install, you'll need a handful of tools and it'll probably take you less than half an hour to do it. So let's have a look, see what we need to do and we'll have a little talk about the gauge. Okay, so to do this job all you'll need is a handful of spanners, a shifting spanner and a socket set. It's quite simple really. So the first thing we'll talk about is this. This is the plastic tubing that came with the oil gauge. Pretty much all the oil gauges come with this. It's the standard pipe. I really don't like it for a number of reasons. One, it's plastic and it goes in your engine bay, so if it touches anything hot it's going to melt straight through the plastic. You'll lose your oil pressure, oil starts spilling out. Two, obviously with vibrations it will rub up against stuff if it's not properly anchored in. Again, rub a hole, lose your oil. It's dead easy to kink. I've already kinked this once by accident. So again, it'll just give you false readings on the oil pressure gauge. It's terrible stuff, I don't like it. So I went ahead and bought the Goodrich version, the braided hose from Mini Spares. It comes with the lock-on nuts there. Braided hose, can't really kink it. Well, I suppose you could if you tried, but it's it'll take the pressure, it'll take the heat, and it'll take being bended through corners without getting kinked. But there's a problem with this. Now, this is supposed to be a universal oil gauge, and guess what? It doesn't fit. So I've tried all my different adapters there. I can't find anything that fits. There's a wee engineering shop just down the road, so I'll maybe pop in tomorrow after work, see if they can make me up a male to female union for this. If not, I'll just need to stick with the plastic tubing. Plastic tubing is not staying on for indefinite. That's only a temporary thing until I can find somewhere that will make me a union for this. So I'll put this to the side and I'll come back to it another day. Okay, so how this works is in your kit you'll get this little thing. Looks like the top of a bullet maybe. And what it is, it's a little compression clamp. And what you do is you put your nut on there, and you slip your compression clamp on with the tip of the bullet or so pointing towards the gauge. You just slip it on. That goes over the top. Tubing goes inside the gauge, and then with pushing on the tubing and then at the same time you screw it in, and as it screws down this tightens up and pinches on the plastic tubing so that you can't pull it back out and it won't shake itself loose, also creating a little vacuum. So it does work and it's an alright system, but I just don't like plastic, and that's that. Okay, so we'll crack on and I'll show you how to install it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is remove your coil, get that out of the road, give you a bit better access. And then directly underneath your oil pipe you'll see your oil pressure switch. It's a kind of plastic looking thing with a blade on it. There's a plug that plugs on, we've already taken off. And just take your shifting spanner, any spanner you can find, it'll crack it open. If it's stuck, don't force it. Right, run your engine a little bit, warm it up, just let the block expand enough just to let it go. If it's still not going, do little bits, don't force it, right, whatever you do, because see, if you snap that off in there, you're fucked. So take your time, make sure it comes out nice, and don't force it. Okay, now that it's out, just do a little visual inspection, see what it looks like. This is kind of grubby, but I know it still works, so we'll just use it anyway. Just take a bit of blue roll, put your nail into the thread, and just unwind it and clean out all the gunk in the threads. So there you go, nice and shiny. And then just take a bit of blue roll and just clean round about the inside of the block there. Try not to get any rubbish back inside, just kind of dust it off and then pop it in and twirl it round. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so the next step is we're going to take our T-piece here. That screws into the block. The pressure hose comes out this bit and your dash switch goes on this bit. So we'll just take a bit of PTFE tape. This is rated to, I think it's like almost 300 degrees, so it's pretty safe to use on your engine. And we'll just take a little bit and put it on the threads like so. Just zoom in on that. And then as you just stretch it, kind of bites into the grooves, and then this just helps create that kind of airtight seal to make sure there's no leakages. So you just put it in and then pull it off, and that's it sealed. So you can't really see it there, but it's right in all the grooves, and then as you screw it in, it just compresses and bites in and then creates that seal. So we'll go ahead and screw this in and then we'll crack on the next bit. So nice and tight, but not overly tight. You don't want to strip the threads or get it seized later down the line if you need to take it back out. So that's, I'm pretty happy with that's secure enough, and then we'll go ahead and put the pipe in. Okay, so now the T-piece is screwed in, I'm going to take my little kind of connector here. Again, it's just a male connector, bit of PTF tape, screw it in, tighten it up with the spanners, and then we'll get the oil pressure pipe on there. Okay, I'm confident that's tight enough. Okay, so with the adapter screwed into the T-piece, we'll take the pipe. We've got the compressor, the little kind of thing that looks like a bullet with the point pointing towards the T-piece, and a little kind of cowlet cover there. And we'll just leave about a centimetre's worth of pipe, put that in the T-piece, screw it on nice and tight, give it a little tug, make sure it's secure in there, and then we'll crack on the next bit. So just make sure that you're pushing down on the pipe and it's not going to slip back out, and then hold it in place with your spanner and then just tighten it up. Now you don't want to go mental with this and tighten up too much, but enough that the compressor clamps down on the plastic and bites in. So just give it a little tug, make sure it's in there. Yep, that's in there nice and tight. And then lastly, all we need to do is take our sensor, put a bit of PTF tape on that, screw that into the end of the T-piece, and that should be us. Don't need too much, just a bit like that. And just screw it on the end, like so. Okay, and then with a spanner, hold on to the T-piece. Take your other spanner and then just nip up your sensor. Okay, so this is what it should look like. And you just put your blade back on, connect it back up, put your coil back on, screw it up. Okay, so the next stage is you'll take your pipe, find a little hole in the bulkhead, preferably something with where the wires going through it. Make sure there's a grommet so the bodywork doesn't scissor away at the plastic. And just feed it through the dashboard hole, and then into the gauge. But I'm not going to use this just now. I'm just going to do this as a little kind of mock up to show you how it works. And then I'm going to go try and find another adapter so I can use my braided hose. So cover on, compression, and wedge your sleeve just a wee bit. And you take your pressure gauge. Obviously this is all done inside the cockpit if you're doing it for real. So you want to leave just a little bit. See how the pipe goes in and then just stops about maybe 2 mil. And then take your nut there and just loosely screw in it first, and then you want to push down on the pipe, turn the nut at the same time, and then take your spanner, do it up slightly, and then with your other spanner hold the base nut, and then nip it up so that the plastic gets bit. That feels tight enough to me. Just give the pipe a little tug. Yep, that's not coming back out. So theoretically, that's it done. It's as easy as that. And what we'll do is I'll just start the car up, and then we'll see if it works. Okay, and the moment of truth. There we go. Perfect. And that's how easy it is to install the oil pressure gauge. So just make sure when you're doing it on your own car that you make sure the pipe is well tucked in, have little bits of rubber around any cable ties you use to hold it in, and just make sure there's nothing that will rub on, it won't vibrate, come loose, touch anything hot, etc. to make a hole in the pipe and lose your oil pressure. So in the next video I'll do the volt and the water temp along with wiring up the bulbs. I'll maybe get some nice LED bulbs so it's a bit brighter, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.